Hey, it's your girl Malika. We're here with the Jasmine brand, and we have LT Hutton. Mr. All Eyes on Me is what they just told me he was. See, we got the t-shirt here.
You hear the song playing in the background, All Eyes on Me.
Okay. Well, you know, the film is like on its way out into theaters. What's the process been like? Because there's been some controversy with it, you know. It went from John Singleton, you know, directing to Benny Boom.
So we gonna jump right into the controversy, huh?
Right into it.
Forget the fact that this was a film made by a young black man in Hollywood, defying all odds and making a picture of quality for culture. That this film not only affects us as young black people in America, but it affects America and how they see black filmmaking. The controversy part of it, it was not controversial. The thing about it was, anybody who was self-serving could not work on this picture, regardless of whose name it was or however big they thought they were. This movie is not about a director, it's not about me, and it's not about the company, it's about Tupac. And anybody who wasn't focused on celebrating and really be explanatory of what Tupac's legacy was. Let's be clear here, Tupac wrote his own story. I was just disciplined enough to tell his story. Tupac cared about his voice. He wanted his voice to be heard. He wanted his voice to be heard correctly, and he wanted his voice to be heard from him. Not a bunch of people trying to make it Tupac and me, or trying to alter or configure what Tupac wanted to be projected out there into some type of square when he was trying to make it a circle. So with the controversy, since we jump right into it, there was no controversy. It was just a mission that I had to make sure that I told the story that Tupac wanted to be told through his POV, not anyone else's.
Okay. Well, I just want to take it back to what you mentioned in the beginning. It's by black men and it's for black men. And you know, with all this going on with our black men today, what can our black men learn from, you know, seeing Tupac depicted on the big screen?
Here's the thing. In this story, I felt a great responsibility not to just entertain, but to educate. So in this film, what I call it is edutainment. You're going to learn a lot of life lessons. There's a lot of jewels that I put in there because it is a cautionary tale that this young man was chopped down in his prime. 25 is not gangster. Dying at 25 is not gangster whatsoever. You know, dying in your sleep at 80 or, 90 years old, calmly, that's gangster. Seeing your kids go to college and fulfill their dreams, that's gangster. Being able to pass knowledge from generation to generation, that's gangster. So, in this story, you're gonna not us trying to make him something that he wasn't, but you're gonna see a lot of redemption in Tupac. You don't let him off the hook for any of the things he did, but we also, what I did was I wanted to give you a trajectory where you understood where he came from. So I give you some compassion and some compel for who this man was. So I set it, and it goes back to what I'm saying, like the only way I'm able to do that is if I tell the story through Tupac's point of view, not anybody else's. It's not this person or that person's story, it's Tupac's story. And that's all it was about. So in this film, you're gonna get the jewels. There's a lot of jewels. Not preachy, but jewels. There's a lot of jewels like that.
I know, and I mean, and it's always good to see biopics like this where, you know, we feel like we know artists through their music, but then to see them depicted on a bigger screen is totally different.
It's like I said, it was a fight to, give you who Tupac was. Like I did. Let me explain this to everybody. I did this film in the trilogy of who Tupac was, who he wanted to be, and who he had to be to survive the world's plural that he was introduced into.
Right.
Say it one more time. Who Tupac was, who he wanted to be, and who he had to be. That's how these stories are told. And through that trajectory, I'm able to flush out a lot of who the man was, the making of the man, what drove him, what was that fire burning inside of him. And you see, when I talk about it, I get excited.
Yeah, I see it.
You know?
I see the passion.
For us, for me, the biggest fight was for me to be able to tell the story without Hollywood trying to shape Tupac into who he wanted to be. If Tupac was a circle, let him be a circle. I'm not going to make Tupac into a triangle to appease the masses. He fought to be a circle. So that's what he was, a circle in this movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was completely 360 degrees. He wasn't half that. He wasn't something that he was out of the norm. So in this movie, I'm proud to say that I fought a strategic battle, and Hollywood threw everything they threw at me. And they also poisoned some black men to throw things at me because, sad to say, in 2017, we're still saying the first black to do this, the first black to do this. And in that statement, you still have black people that come against the first.
Yeah.
A lot of people use black people when they need them. They don't use black people. Not that you never should use black people. You should include black people. Don't use us as your audience when you think you need us or to get like some people like to be the only black person in the room. I welcome black people in the room. I want to put black people in a position so that I have somebody that I'm talking to that I feel like I can relate to that speaks the same language. When I walk around studios and I only see myself, I don't see any familiar faces.
It gets discouraging.
Perceptions are reality. The biggest definition of perception is visual. Who controls the visual? Hollywood. So me, the fight that I'm making to have a say in the visual, how could any black person go against me making a platform for us to share the visual?
Right.
If you do, you're selfish.
You're absolutely right.
You have to think of what it all is. It's a little deep for me. That's why I said I didn't even want to do the interview with this crowd.
No, I see the passion.
It's something else.
I see it. I see the passion. And I'm sure we will all see it once it comes out. You know, June 16th.
June 16th.